Welcome to our series on interview lighting techniques. In this episode, we'll cover the main theories on how to shape light and an overview of the main types of lights. This will cover what tools we use and why we're using them. In the next episode, we'll cover typical lighting scenarios from start to finish. Episode 2 will go over lighting in a studio against a backdrop, and Episode 3 will tackle lighting in an environment where we'll mix studio lighting with the ambient light of our indoor office location. You hear a lot about how natural light is the most beautiful kind. When a subject is positioned next to a window, the lighting can be kind of perfect, and to recreate it, first you need to understand how that works. What you're seeing is a key light, the main light on your subject, and fill light. Every room has a key coming from the main light source, but the rest of the room is acting like a fill. This is Lee, and she's our subject for today. If your subject is too close to the window, the light's too harsh and the shadows are too dark. It's all key light and no fill light. And if you're too far away from the window or the light source, it's too flat. The sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Just keep this in mind as we craft different lighting, because all lighting setups just try to mimic that effect. Let's cover the tools you have to work with. Generally speaking, there are soft lights that are large sources, and hard lights that emit a point source of light. Each has its own use. Hard lights can be Fresnels, meaning they have a lens for focusing the light, or par, which don't have the ability to focus the angle of the beam. Soft lights are typically panels and come in a range of sizes. Fluorescent lights fall into this category. The bigger the light source, the softer the light. 1x1 are the smallest standard, and then there are larger ones like this Kino Celeb. They're soft, but their beam isn't controllable and radiates out in all directions. One way to control that is with a grid, which will focus the light into a smaller pattern while still retaining its softness. Hard lights are the most versatile in a studio since they can be used on their own or softened with a modifier, either a softbox or by shooting through or against flags, silks, or a reflector. The movie industry typically uses these kinds of lights for that reason. Most soft light sources on a film set are actually hard light sources like Fresnels, pointed towards a piece of equipment that will diffuse it. Here's a good example. This nice soft source is actually created by a high-powered Fresnel light off to camera left. It's shooting up and bouncing off a 12x6 white fabric we call a silk, which has been raised up in the air above the subject. When lighting a subject, you want a soft light source as your key light, which is the term for your main light. If we start with a hard light source, you can see how harsh and unflattering that is. Now let's switch to a 1x1 light panel. It's softer, but it's still not great. Now let's use the same light panel and shoot it through a 2x3 silk. Now we're getting somewhere. You can see how well that wraps around the face in a way that's soft and flattering, and the shadow side has a nice even fall off across the cheek. The next choice is a larger light panel. Another choice is a Fresnel or par light with a chimera. Here are the 4 of these side by side. The 1x1 panel through diffusion is a great option if space and weight are an issue, but larger light panels or a chimera are basically ideal. It all comes down to personal preference. This overview will get you started so you can choose the right light for your shoot. In the next episode, we'll put these tools to work in a full studio setup. Thanks for watching.